Hello. In this video, I'll go over the exercises from 1B on your supplementary handout on sum and products of roots. So in 1A, we want to write this in terms of alpha and beta. We can multiply the first term by beta over beta, and the second one by alpha over alpha. So you would get 2 times the sum over the product. Similarly here, I can multiply the first term by beta over beta, and the second term by alpha over alpha. So just rearranging and also factorize alpha beta from the bottom so that it will be in terms of sum and product. So by now you should realize that we are doing the same thing over and over again, trying to equate the denominator to be the same. Now for this question, we're not quite done yet because the top isn't in terms of the sum and the product. So you have to use this nice identity. So now everything is in terms of sums and product. Here, if you actually just factor out the alpha beta, you're already done. So for E, we can expand and we can factor out -2 from the middle two terms, and there we have it. And lastly, for F, so I'm going to expand the numerators and then collect everything. Okay, just like before, I'm not quite done with the top yet, so I can use this identity for the sum of squares. And also I'm going to take out 5 from the last two terms. So now we have only in terms of the sum and products of the roots. All right. So the first thing we can do is to express it in terms of sums and products again. And then I can just substitute and that should give me 9 times -9, which is -81. Here I can just cross multiply. So by that, I mean like that. Again, we're going to make use of this identity and substitute. That's just 1 minus 2, which is negative 1. All right, similarly, so we can write this as alpha plus beta, or squared, minus 2 alpha beta, and then we substitute. Which is minus 4. Now B, you will have to do alpha plus beta all cubed first, but there will be some terms that are left over, namely 3 alpha squared beta and another 3 alpha beta squared. This comes from the cubic expansion. So we can actually factor out negative 3 alpha beta from the last two terms. And now we can substitute. That's the wrong value. 4 cubed is 64. 120. 120 minus 64 is 56. No, that's the wrong one. Okay, so by now you see the redundancy in the questions. So I'm just going to jump right into what the form should look like. Okay, if you're struggling with these here, just look back at some of the examples in question 1. And then I can substitute. I can't even read my own writing. This should be a minus 2, so it should be a 4. And another 4. So that's 53 over 4. This will be a cubed plus b cubed all over alpha beta. And again, I'm just going to write down what we had before. It was this after factorization, just to save a line or two. So these values are 7 minus 2, 7 minus 2 on the bottom. 7 cubed is 343, I believe. And that makes 6 and 7, 42. That will be negative 375 over 2. On to question 5. All right, so part A. Well, alpha plus beta is just negative of negative b. Well, negative of b, which is negative of negative 5. So it's positive 5. The product is just 3 over 1, so it's just 3. So using these, we can find out what these perspective expressions are. So we can factor out a negative 3 plus from the middle two terms, and substituting That's 3 minus 3 plus 9 minus 12, negative 3. Oh, this should be I. And now we're on II. Alpha over beta square plus beta over alpha square. Do a bit of cross multiplying. So you got alpha cubed plus beta cubed all over alpha square beta square. So we substitute 3 here. No. 5 in the sum. 3 in the product. And that should be 80 over 9. Alright, so 6 is just another type of question like 5. So we first can write down what alpha plus beta is. That's just positive 4. Alpha plus beta is just 3 once again. So for A, could actually move A down here. Okay, first one is quite straightforward. This will be 4 squared minus 2 times 3, all over 3, which is 16 minus 6 over 3, which is 10 over 3. C is even easier than B because we don't even have the denominator. So can I just write down 10? Right. It's exactly what the denominator is from part B. And C, if I take out alpha beta, I get the sum. And that will just be 3 times 4, which is 12. Ah, this is a new one. So let's just expand out. We should get this here. So it's not so bad. What you notice is if I rearrange it, I have this. And the first 2 terms can be written as that. Okay, this part. So we minus another 2 alpha beta. So really this is just alpha plus beta all square minus 4 alpha beta. So then we can substitute. Let's substitute here. Otherwise I cannot see what the values are. 16 minus 12, which is 4. And F is alpha plus 1 times beta plus 1. FOIL, we get this. So actually we don't need to factor out the middle 2 terms. You just kind of have to put a bracket there to see that this is indeed the sum. And what do I have for the sum? 4. That's 8. And the last question. Alright, you should know the drill by now. First one is just minus 4. The product would just be the last coefficient, 1. So using these, find out what these expressions are. Ooh, this one looks a bit nasty. So I can write the first term as alpha beta all square, and then let's take away a negative from the difference of the cube. And then now I'm going to just write the sum of cube as this here. Remember, I'm skipping one step here. We have shown that this is true in question 1, and yeah, I think I only did it for question 1, and then just use the result from there. Anyway, I have all that I need, so substitute. Make sure you have a bracket on the negative 4. (64) plus 12 plus another 1, so that's 2 minus 76, which is negative 74. I think there are 2 parts. What is this? Nice little pattern here. You have alpha, beta, and then beta, alpha, correct? Yeah. So what we do is we cross multiply and then take the product on the bottom. Okay, just a bit annoying here. This will be alpha squared plus 4 alpha plus 4. Now I'm going to group these two fractions together. And on the bottom, I have alpha plus beta plus 4, which is not so bad. Still need to do some tidying up on the top. So we have alpha squared plus beta squared plus 4 alpha plus 4 beta plus another 8. Okay. Then we can write the sum of squares as this. I'm going to factor out a 4 from the third and the fourth term. And now I have everything in terms of sums and product. Okay, what are the numbers? It's minus 4 and 1. So this minus 4, 1, minus 4, minus 4. Oh no, why do I have a 0 on the bottom? Is there a mistake? Let's see. Cross multiply, expand. I did a horrible mistake. When I do FOIL, it should be alpha beta plus 2 alpha plus 2 beta plus 4. Okay, I was committing like a elementary mistake. So let's just take out a 2 from the middle two terms. And now minus 4 and 1, right? 1 minus this. So on the top we have 16 minus a 2 minus a 16 plus an 8. And on the bottom we have 1 plus 8 plus 4. So this cancels out. So we have 6 on the top and a 30 on the bottom. And we're done.